Good morning, everybody. My wonderful, confident, successful business owners. How are you this morning? Welcome to our Thursday morning members spotlight interview. And this morning we have someone who I have known for quite a while now. I have the incredible Martine Barclay with me. Hey, Martine, how are you going?
Oh, well, hey, Ali, thanks for having me.
It's exciting. Whoop, I'm just setting up so we can see the comments. It is exciting to be having you come in and to do an interview with you, because we'll get into what you do in a minute. But Martine and we did a course together years and years ago and have been accountability partners for, I don't know, what is it, 4 years now?
Yeah, must be, at least. Yeah. Every Monday.
Every
4 years almost.
We have a discussion and it's incredible. Yeah. And you know what I love now is that we're supporting each other in business in multiple ways. Yeah. So speaking of that, this interview is all about learning about you and what you do. So tell us what you do, Martine, and how you came about to do it.
Yeah, sure. I am a psychotherapist, counselor, and coach. And I've been doing this for about 8 years now on my own in private practice. Prior to that, I worked in organizations doing HR, learning and development, talent kind of work. I didn't know I was going to get here. I suppose I got to a point where work just wasn't doing it for me, and my children needed me around more. So I gave up a full-time job and I took some time out, and then I decided that I was going to do coaching work because that was the work I really enjoyed when I was employed. And then as I started to get my coaching clients, I felt like I needed some more depth to my skill set. So I did my master's in applied psychotherapy and counseling. And then I thought, well, what am I going to do? And I thought, I'd like to work with drugs and alcohol because I know that that is a challenge in the corporate sector, only to find that there's such stigma around it that nobody wants to talk about it. But what I did learn is that they're all trying to sleep better. And so what I have landed up doing is specializing in sleep for adults, working adults. And so I look at insomnia, but I also look at disrupted sleep and various other sleep things, but all things sleep for the adult professional. And I love it. And it's a lot of fun. And I do that mainly face-to-face. Some of it is online. And with that comes the anxiety work and the career coaching and how can I perform in my job with a mental health problem and all these other things. So it really opens the door to and provides all the fun stuff that I used to like. So didn't know I'd be here, but here I am.
Isn't that funny? And I say this, I'm sure I say this every week to every single person I interview, is that, you know, most of us really don't even originally have the thought of even being in business for ourselves. Life tends to lead us there.
Yeah.
And that fascinates me. But it's interesting, you know, you just said, you know, what was I going to say? So you love the coaching while you were at work, while you were in your job, and so it's led you into what you're doing now. And it's not an easy thing to decide to go into business for yourself, is it?
No, it's not for the faint-hearted. But as somebody said to me, I'm quite generative. And so I think that, COVID, I think, made it harder to continue growing my business. But I think that it also helped me get better at my platform and my, get the basics really strong and ready for scaling, which is what I'm doing now after COVID. But I have a wide variety of referrers of work, and they say you need 7. I don't have 7, but I have 4 or 5 that are very strong. So I'm quite fortunate in that way.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And what I love is, you know, you were saying before that you help people with sleep issues, right?
Yep.
And you were also mentioning, you know, the business factor in it too, in the professionals. And, you know, speaking as someone who runs a business, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, well, I think I do know the answer to this because I know you.
Yeah.
But I don't know about you, but when we run our own business, my sleep gets interrupted in the middle of the night simply because I
Yep.
wake up, and my VA actually had this happen to her the other day. You wake up in the middle of the night and you go, holy crap, I have to do this, or I didn't do
Yep.
this, or I need
Yep.
to do this. And it's because our businesses become our babies, and we're constantly living them, aren't we?
Yeah.
Is that what you find with a lot of people who?
Yeah, we're our identity is fused with them. And so that can become problematic. It's not a bad thing, but it can become problematic. And the other thing is that I think when you're working in an organization, there are lots of people there to notice when something's falling through the crack or to help out or that. But when you are working for yourself and there's only a few of you, or you're working on your own, the buck stops with you. And that's a lot of responsibility. And I think coming with that responsibility is an increased vigilance. And that it makes it harder to relax.
Yeah. And does that kind of, brings us almost into the topic of anxiety.
Yep.
With business, what are some suggestions you would give to people maybe who are having issues with A, sleep, or B, anxiety, or C, both?
Well, they're both connected, right? So the first thing I would say is learn to breathe well. And so what I mean by that is just because you're alive doesn't mean you're breathing well. So I saw a client yesterday who came to see me to talk to me about lots of different things. And I said, can I just stop you? Where are you breathing from? And she was literally just breathing from here. And so we had to spend 10 or 15 minutes, which is great because it's going to be so helpful for her to teach her how to breathe. A 40-year-old woman, how to breathe so that the anxiety and the worry and the stress doesn't actually take over, but enables her to think calmly about what her next step is. So, so doing the diaphragmatic breathing, making sure that you're breathing from below your belly button. And if you can't, to breathe slowly and deeply so that you can start to push it down so that it does start to come from there automatically. That would be the first thing. And also, if you are busy during the day, make sure that you are allowing some time to breathe without any other distractions so that you are doing it well every now and again, because that can wake you up in the middle of the night if you're not. The other thing is set half an hour for worry time and know that it's there. And, in that, when you get worried, you get anxious, you go, that's okay. At 4:30, that's my worry time. I'm going to worry about that then. And then just keep going.
I like this, even something, and this might sound silly to people, but to me, if I have something in my diary, it's an appointment with myself in my diary. So even putting worry time in your diary, like you say, just that half an hour, will really assist you. And can I just stop here and say too, you were just talking about the breathing exercises, Martine. Now, if you are not a member of my VIP membership, Martine did an incredible training, I think it was last week, wasn't it, where she went through some specific breathing exercises with us, specifically to help with anxiety in business. So if you want to go and see that training that Martine did, come over and join us in our VIP membership. I'll get my VA to just pop the link. She's probably scrambling in the background, but I'll get her to pop the link to join the VIP membership. And come and see this training, because it is incredible, Martine. Like, you shared some, it was what, an hour and a half long training, and you shared some incredible.
It was an hour.
Incredible information. But and I will say, after that training that we did, I have been practicing those breathing exercises.
Fabulous.
I have.
Fabulous.
And I have noticed a change in my body.
Yeah.
And also not only that, but in the way I'm thinking as well.
Yeah.
It's, how do I put it? it's a lot more positive.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And you know, this is the thing. Some of these things are so simple, yet so hard to do. And you know, I mean, my kids laugh at me for saying this, but I am continually amazed at the body's ability to heal itself. If only we knew how and let it.
And that's right. And it's the link too between the physical and the mental.
Correct.
And even the spiritual, whether you're into that or not. I am. But there's a huge link.
Massive.
Between, you know, and this is a little bit of what we were talking about the other day is you know, things are happening or things aren't happening that we want to happen, and the anxiety builds, and then the sleep gets affected, and it's a cycle, isn't it?
It takes us down a rabbit hole.
Down a rabbit hole,
as Alice would say.
That's right. Now, I know we were talking just quickly before this, and you were saying that you have some incredible bundles available for people to get their hands on.
Yeah.
Do you want to share a little bit about what you're providing in these bundles? Because they sound really cool.
Yeah. So what they are is, so there's a self-care bundle that we've put together, which is really a planner, a journal for 31 days so that you can journal your way through, and they're intended that you start at page 1 for the journal and move your way through, because as you become more proficient at journaling, more profound things come forward. And there's also 31 days of quotes to keep you motivated. And also, so I'm just thinking there's 4 things. So it's the quotes, it's the planner, it's the workbook, and then some suggestions, 101 ways to take self-care into for yourself. And so it's a great little bundle. We're selling it for 27 Australian dollars. And it's very good to get you on the road. Even if you are good at self-care, it's good to freshen it up every now and again, because otherwise the longer you do the same things all the time, the less impactful they are. So that's why we provide the 101 self-care tips as well. So there's that bundle, and we're in the middle of creating a career bundle. So a career planner, which will have a career planner, key things to think about, things to start doing, stop doing, thinking about, do you need to change your role? Do you need to change the kind of work you're doing, the mix of it, and those kinds of things. And that will be on sale next month for 27 Australian dollars too.
Wow, that's incredible. And I'm sitting there going, as you're saying all of that, I'm going, yep, I can use that. Yep, I can use that. And something you just said was really interesting, and I will 100% back you up on this, because you said the longer you do something, the less impact it has. So to change it up a bit. And from my experience, like even you know, meditation. So I'm very big into meditation. But what I'm finding now is I've been listening. Something is, and tell me if I'm on the right track here.
Sure.
Listening to the same lady do meditations. She's a you know, one of my mentors. To the same lady's meditations for the majority of the year, and it just got to the point where I went, okay, I've done enough now. I need to change it up. So I kind of went and started doing someone else's meditations, and it was just the fact of having a different voice in my ear. So I'm still doing the meditations, but it was a different voice, and it was something new to me. Also along the lines of journaling. I've never seen myself as a journaler. And I was journaling when I needed to, but now something new I've tried this year, I've been doing it on a daily basis. And it has, it's because it's something different that I haven't been doing before. It's really, really helped. So
and also probably because it's pen and paper.
100% the pen and paper. I'm a big fan of that anyway. And then like as I've been journaling, I've been learning more and more about that. But the pen and explain more about that if you wouldn't mind.
Well, it's okay. So we experience through our senses. And so what that means is by doing it through pen and paper, we're engaging more of our senses. So the texture, the writing, what words are we going to use? all those kinds of things. We're actually committing our thoughts to muscle memory.
Yeah.
When we do it on an iPad or, tick, tick, tick on the keyboard, there's no muscle memory at all. The muscle memory is for the keys, not for what you're actually, your thoughts and how you're putting it all together. And so it's a very different experience for your body. And the idea is that with journaling, you clear the noise, and through that you actually get what's really sitting underneath, which you will have found if you've been doing journaling every day this year. That would give you such amazing, quicker insight into what's sitting underneath, the more proficient you become.
It really does. And what I find is that when I do journal, because I journal in the morning and I'll be specifically writing some things, and then during the day, it could be this sudden, deeper thought that comes to do with what I've journaled in the morning, and it just happens. And I swear that wouldn't have happened if like you say, if I hadn't put the pen to paper. And you were also saying, how the typing doesn't do this, we're just doing the thing. And as you were saying that, I thought to myself, because I touch type, I think as most of us do, but I'll be looking at someone talking to them, touch typing, right, and still typing what I want to type.
Yeah.
But when you're writing, you have to concentrate on what you can't write and talk to someone at the same time.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
You write gobbledygook, and that is one of the key things. You actually have to be present with it. Yes, exactly. And that is the key, I think, in journaling, is that it helps to generate presence with yourself.
Absolutely.
Which is really important. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So there you go. Journaling, pen to paper, people.
Yeah.
Breathing, journaling. All right. So now you mentioned that you do some work with people in person and also virtually. Can you describe what you do? Is there a difference between the two?
Not that it's the same work, but because you have the online environment, it's done differently, I suppose, is the way to say it. And what I've found is the in-person experiences are far more impactful for the client. Although I do have clients who live in Sydney, because I'm based in Sydney, who don't want to get on a train, and they like the convenience of a Zoom session. And so that's what we do, which is fine. It's just that, for example, I have a placemat and lots of little figurines and things. And so we have a second camera set up from my account for them to kind of move some things around the mat. And so it's not as kinesthetic, I suppose, would be the feedback, but it is just as good. And for some people, it creates enough of a barrier to really be vulnerable. But for some people, it creates the barrier to keep people at arm's length. So, you just have to work that out as we work together. But it's great. It's something that I really enjoy. Both, my preference obviously is for in-person, but I love the online just as much. So I've had Australian clients around the world who've looked for somebody based in Australia back to work with. So I've had a lady in Mexico, Thailand, various other places. So it just challenges my time zone knowledge.
Oh, I hear you, sister. I think I even stuffed up on something this morning. Oh, well, it doesn't matter.
It's done now.
It's done, exactly. I'll go and journal about it later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fantastic, Martine. So if I would like to get in touch with you to find out more about what you do or how they can book in to possibly work with you.
Yeah, sure.
How can I get in touch with you?
Well, so the best way is through my website, www.redefineyouredge.com. On the homepage, there is an opportunity to book in a discovery call. And also you can just spend some time on the website figuring out what's there. And there's also a contact page if you'd like some specific information, or, there's a sleep quiz on there as well. So if you're struggling with sleep, I encourage you to do the sleep quiz because you might learn something new about yourself. You'll get feedback. It's 5 questions to answer. You'll get some feedback and learn a bit more about what you can do for sleep as well. So I think the website's the best place, but you know, equally my mobile number is on there. If you feel like you'd like to give me a call, do leave a message. If I don't answer, I will call you back and we can go from there.
Beautiful, Martine. And like I said, I've known Martine for years. She knows her stuff when it comes to this. So yeah, if you want to find out more about what Martine does, please go and check out our website. We've just popped the link in the comments right now.
Right. Thank you.
Redefine Your Edge. So Martine, thank you so much for coming and sharing some of your wisdom with us today. I always love what you have to share.
You're welcome. And I think I'd just like to leave everybody with the idea that every day is a new day.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
So, you know, you get the chance to do it again and better than tomorrow. So don't worry about today.
Love that. I think that's the perfect place to leave it there, Martine.
Marvelous. All right.
Thank you so much.
That's a pleasure. Thank you, Ali. And thank you, everybody else, for tuning in.
No worries.
Bye.
All right,
Have a good
everyone.
day.
We'll see you again soon in the group. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.